Today's video, we are going to talk about how long does it take for Google Ads to optimize. That is, start to get better, and more importantly, the perfect thing that everybody would like to know is how long is it going to take to break even with my ads? So the ads are paying for themselves, and I'm home free with this thing. I know I'm not going to run out of money, so that this thing could just keep going, independent of my bank account, if you will. Do you have the cash to survive the waiting time that Google is going to need from your conversion data to optimize your ads? Because I can tell you right up front, way more than half of your results just comes from the conversion data that flows into your account, which is why it's ultra important to set up your conversion tracking, not just however you want or eventually, but right before you start advertising, because half the value of your ad spend in the beginning stages is just going to come down to the acquisition of data that tells you exactly what to scale up and what not to do because it's not profitable enough, or to pay less for per click because it's not profitable enough. So I'm going to go into how long this takes for Google Ads to optimize your ads. I've got a nice little chart here which demonstrates what you can expect if you're going to do like basically a good job with your ads, an average job, a half-assed job, how this is actually going to affect how long it actually takes for Google Ads to optimize your ads, and then what are the actual factors here that's going to dictate also how optimized they get and how long is it going to take for Google to get to that level of optimization. Okay, I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that offers guaranteed results to their clients. That is, no fees until we raise your profitability in excess of our management fee up front. The only reason why we're able to do that and other firms do not is because I myself am the one doing strategy on our client accounts and have been doing advertising for 20 years to get to the level of experience to offer that to our clients. So I'm going to be using all of this knowledge as well to give you the information here to tell you how long it's going to take to optimize your ads. So with that said, I will actually give you some case studies that will show you how much and how quickly we were able to optimize our ads if you watch to the end of the video, and how profitable this could be if you deploy the core concepts that I'm going to give you on the video here today. So with that said, starting with the factors that are going to dictate on a high level how long it takes for Google Ads to optimize your ads and how aggressively they do it, the first thing on the list to mention here is the number of competitors you have with your ads. Now, Google Ads can obviously encapsulate different or more than just search ads. It could be YouTube ads, which is done through your Google Ads account, demand gen campaigns, and so forth. Since most of you guys watching this, 90% of you guys just care about Google search ads, which you shouldn't limit yourself to that, but for simplicity's sake here, we're going to talk about Google search ads. The same thing applies to all the other types of ads that you can run through your Google Ads account, though, for the most part. And if you have a unique situation, just tell me what you got in the comment section. I'll definitely get back to you. But the number of competitors on Google search can literally be upwards of 15 competitors. We know this because I manage lots of campaigns. You can see how many competitors you have in the Auction Insights tab or part of your Google Ads account and see how many you have. The more competitors you have, the more sophisticated they are, the longer it's going to take for Google Ads to optimize. Naturally, Google, just from the standpoint of if you got 15 advertisers trying to get into the top 4 ad spots on Google, they've got more to split test. That is, they're constantly split testing the guys that are there, then you show up, and now they got to split test you and they got to work you into the mix. So obviously it's going to take, when you're running a split test, or if you will, A/B test, whatever you want to call it, and there's more things to test, it takes longer to get to the end test result, right? Number 2, offer. Do you have one? A lot of you guys don't understand the concept of you needed an offer in order to make ads work. If you're not having success, the quickest thing you can do to make your ads work quicker is come up with an offer for what you're selling. That is, if you sell a mortgage service, you sell mortgages to people, instead of just being like the rest of the guys that are on Google there and say, we offer mortgage services, don't do that. Instead, say, we offer the guaranteed lowest rate on mortgage services, and if we don't get you the guaranteed lowest rate, and you find out otherwise it's lower somewhere else, we will give you a $100 Outback Steakhouse gift card just for your troubles. And that makes your ad get triple the click-through rate than the other ads overnight, which naturally may not get you all the profit you're going to gain from that overnight because just Google's quality score, it's delayed and its reaction to increases in click-through rate and conversion rate, it's like magic. You created results where you didn't fundamentally change what you did, you just made it a little bit more appealing and packaged it differently. So you can actually take an offer and make something work way much quicker because one, you've got something else that you're offering that differentiates you like that. Then Google's going to optimize you quicker because you've actually got something else to, instead of blending in with the crowd, they see you as something completely different, therefore can optimize you quicker and all that. And you're just going to get more results naturally out of what you're doing per click, per impression. You also got, in terms of how long does it take for Google Ads to optimize, click-through rate and conversion rate. That is percentage above mean. So whatever amount of the competitors you have, Google's constantly benchmark you against all the other competitors. The better you do in terms of click-through rate and conversion rate versus your competitors, the quicker they're going to optimize your ads because they're going to want to promote you in the search results faster. Just because you bid on the keyword red shoes doesn't mean you're going to show up 100% of the time. It's absolutely not like that at all. They actually only show you like 5-10% of the time at the very beginning. Slowly try to figure out, are you as good? Can you cut the mustard? Can you keep up with the other competition that's there? And if you are, they'll show you a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. The more you're above the average, the quicker they're going to start showing you. So that will contribute to the length of time it takes for Google Ads to optimize. And then also the competitor pricing. So in other words, how are you priced versus the competition? Level of value that you're offering. Do you offer more value, more features, benefits for the price that you're offering if it's the same price? So obviously that has an impact on your results. And then with that, Google being able to more quickly see you have something that helps the market out better than the competition, therefore would want to put you out there faster and then ultimately optimize you quicker. So with that said, those are the main factors that are going to dictate how long it takes for Google Ads to optimize. Now, I developed this chart here to demonstrate what it is that, in terms of how much of a difference this is going to make for you based upon how much time and effort you're going to put in to your ad setup. The average person is going to spend 20 minutes to set up their ads, okay? And that's it, which is dumb, but people a lot of times don't know any better. They're so excited about getting results with Google Ads, they don't want a consultant first or anything like that, and so they just run their ads real quick. Then they don't even know what results they're looking for out of it. Then, a couple months later, they go, I wonder if this Google Ads is even working or not, or I haven't really gotten any more sales. And then they start thinking about things like I need XYZ ROI or XYZ cost per lead, developing sales processes to handle the leads that they have coming in so that they'll convert at a high rate, of which all their competitors did, and they just thought their competitor, this is a game where everybody shows up and everybody gets a participation trophy. The reality is 20% of the people that are advertising out of those 15, if you got 15 competitors, are making all the profit and everybody else is making little or nothing or running at a loss. Yes, people run their ads at a loss because mostly they don't even know it, or they stick their head in the sand and they tell themselves it's profitable, and it's profitable without needing to pay a consultant because they damn well hate paying a consultant. A lot of just getting results with Google Ads is just have humility. Having humility, understanding that you don't know everything, that somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing Google Ads is going to be able to do it better than you, and it's not going to be 10 or 20% better. Okay, we're talking about 2,000% better. And that's literally what we're talking about. If you got the person who really, really, really knows it, and it's not just blowing smoke up, okay? So if you're talking about, the average person setting up their ads, average business owner doesn't really have any Google Ads background, this is the first time they've ever done it, you can have a campaign that you can run your ads for 9 months and you could get it to 200% ROI just through Google split testing what you have and trying to weed out stuff that doesn't work and scale up the part that does. And they are able to do this even if your conversion tracking isn't set up right to some degree, because they can actually see, did the person that clicks on your ads go back to Google to click on something else? That said, in that same 9 months time, you could easily get double the results just having an average setup, which is done by somebody who has maybe a couple years of Google Ads experience and doesn't at least have you fall for all the really, really rookie mistakes, like using broad match keywords, which you don't want to do until way later, if at all. Understanding how to write a structured ad that is decent, uses good app, decent ad copywriting principles. It follows the AIDA model and so forth. Or if you get a real stud working on your ads, you can actually blow the rate of the Google Ads optimizing your ads completely out of the water. Instead of you getting double, you can easily get 10 times, or should I say 5 to 10 times the results than you would have had doing it yourself in terms of the rate of improvement and how long it takes Google Ads to optimize. This is actually pretty conservative here. You're going to do the ads yourself and get a 200% ROAS with no background in Google Ads in 9 months. I'm typically going to be able to then get that up to 1,000% minimum, but it's way more than what you're going to do with your average approach. Even with Google Ads, if you have one of Google Ads' support staff helping you, which, by the way, it's like the government. Hey, I'm the government. I'm here to help. Of course, yeah, right. They're really there to help you, right? You wouldn't go to the IRS for tax advice. So why the hell are you going to Google for PPC advice? Everybody, and I understand why it works so well, because everybody has a good experience with Google. It's never let them down before. The reality is, because 99.9999% of people's experience with Google is positive, they can get by with really ass you on the Google Ads because they got all that goodwill from people that don't advertise and just want to basically use Google for what it's normally used for. With that said, your rate of improvement, you can see here, is just miles different than what you're going to do with not understanding Google Ad strategy or just using somebody with a couple years of experience that's learning on your dime still. This is months, by the way. And when you're talking about running your ads and needing to be profitable, you're set up in a very competitive market like, let's say, home services where you're doing AC repair. It can easily take 18 to 24 months before you're going to get to that 500% plus ROI that you need to be profitable, which is just absolutely insane. Why you'd want to put yourself through that when you can actually get somebody who really knows what they're doing and in 6 months get what you would have got done in 24 months. And all the money you piss away in wasted ad spend in that extra 18 months would have paid for the ad person and then some, and you would have got everything you wanted done in terms of a minimum level of optimization 18 months sooner than you would otherwise on your own. So I know it may sound self-serving when I say this, but there is no scenario that, at least if you could find a Google Ads expert that knows what they're doing, not to hire them to just set up your ads, because there's so many different individual little gotchas with it nowadays that the average person basically stands no chance. All it takes is one teeny tiny little mistake and your account can go from profitable to not profitable. Like using broad match keywords, which Google's going to tell you is a great idea, but it's a terrible idea if you actually have any experience doing stuff with it. Which, by the way, your average Google Ads expert that's going to help you is going to also tell you broad match keywords are great. I've literally, at our firm, saw people, what they like to do at our agency, which is why you don't want to get into this business. You'll have somebody that hasn't hired 5 guys before they come to me. They'll have me set up the ads. I'll get them great results. I'll make it look easy. Then they'll get tired of paying the couple grand a month or whatever that we're charging them. And they'll hire some flunky to come in to take it over from there. And then that person, I can see what they're doing because the client forgets to remove us from the ad account. And then they start adding these broad match keywords to their account. And then the entire thing we set up for them, they derailed it all because they were trying to save a couple thousand a month when they're making $20,000 a month, but they want to save an extra $2 because they're freaking greedy. Now, I get it. This is business. Nobody owes me anything. But it's really, really ridiculous to jeopardize something that makes that much money and to try to get an extra 10% more profit out of it. It's really dumb and short-sighted, but people do this all the time. Either people don't give it enough time to work, they want it to work like ridiculously fast, or it works and then they try to save money getting it switched over to a bozo and having a bozo manage it, or eventually have somebody in-house manage it, which they think somebody who gets paid, if we scale them up to where we're getting paid $6,000 a month, that it's cheaper to just hire an in-house person, which that $6,000 a month person is completely going to be clueless compared, because a real expert, you can see the salary surveys on Reddit. Somebody who has all the experience that really knows what they're doing, which you've got to have like 10 years of experience plus to know what you're doing with it, to even really, really know what you're doing. They're making $300,000, $400,000 a year, not no 60 grand. That 60 grand guy is going to be learning on your dime. And unless you're doing something with super high demand and very low competition, it's not going to work. You're wasting your time. With that said, now on the flip side, just on that note, if you have less than 4 competitors and you have highly competitive pricing, that is, it's obvious, not to you, but to your market, that you're at least 3 to 10 times better value for the money, you can get things to legitimately be at a 6 to 800% ROI or ROAS, which most people need at minimum to be profitable, in as little as 1 month or 1 to 2 months is standard in that situation. However, you go to the other side of this, where you're talking about 15 competitors and you're in something where you're not that much different than everybody else, it can easily take 24 months to be profitable at that level, 600% plus ROI, or 6 months using the absolute best person possible, and you paid them enough to actually do everything you need them to do, which a lot of guys think, because I know so much about Google Ads, they could just hire me and find out what I know, and then they could go do it. The reality is, to get those kind of results in 6 months in a super, super competitive market like that, it's 200 hours of work before we run a single ad. Landing pages, ad copy, making different ads for different cities so people always see their city name in their ad and their landing page. Understanding that people want to know if they're looking for a brown toilet repair or whatever, they want to damn well see that in their ad and on the landing page when they get there. They don't want to see plumbing services Dallas or whatever. This is simple stuff that people should just inherently know. It's common sense, but people are so damn arrogant or lazy, they don't want to do it, and they just want it to work anyway. And that might be okay if you have no competition. You can get the results in a month or whatever, even if you're totally clueless. But that is, of the people watching this video right now, it's going to be 1, 2, 3% of the people watching. Don't assume that's going to be you. Assume you got to make it work. And by the way, if you overkill it, you've done too much, all it's going to do is work even better. What the average person's going to, frankly do is they're going to advertise for 3 months, expect it to work with little effort, and then they're going to say, this actually does take more. Corey was right. Then they're going to go and restart again when you could have just took all that wasted ad spend and invested it in a different campaign that you knew you've done every last thing to make it possible, to make it efficient. The learning, because you got to realize money you spend on a campaign that's nowhere near set up well enough, all that conversion data, you lost it forever. Even if on the best campaign you can set up, it didn't work in 3 months, you could use it to cut out half of what didn't get an ROI of what you're looking for, and you probably have the ROI that you want now. I don't know how many different ways I can say it, but it makes no sense to just randomly try to do something unless you're just testing the market. I tell a lot of people if you're not sure if a market will work or not, go set up an ad campaign and see if it will work. If you even got a tiny bit of results from that ad campaign, you got it up to a 200% ROI after 3 months of running it, I'll get it to an 800% no problem. And then that's a great way to test the market versus having me come in and you're not sure if the product or service will sell. That is very legitimate. But once you're into the point where you want to make millions of dollars running these Google ads for your business, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, you have no business doing it yourself unless it's already working for you. By all means, if you can set up your own campaign and get to an 800% ROI and within 6 months, do it. But if you do it and you got it to a 150% ROI, instead of giving up on it, give it to the real master, have them set it up, they'll be able to take it the rest of the way. For the most part, where the person that you hire that knows what they're doing comes in is when you can't grow it anymore. Do it on your own, and then if you hit a plateau with it, then bring the guy in. At least then in general, what you can offer will work, and now it's just a matter of semantics, getting the right structure and getting it set up, and then you're good. If you don't know how to do this, like I mentioned, this is our bread and butter at our firm. 80% of what we do for clients at our firm is just Google ads. Why? Because that's what most people are interested in. I can run ads, fantastic ads. I've run multi-million dollar a year producing campaigns on Facebook and LinkedIn and TikTok. But if you want to have the best guy that you can find that's available to run your Google ads, this is exactly what I do for clients at our firm. And we prove it by giving you a guarantee of results, a certain ROI, certain amount of cost per lead, what have you. of which we tell you up front, and then we don't take our fee until we get you to at least that amount up front. We don't take on just any client and provide that level of guarantee, but if it's something that we know we can already get results with, we will give you that guarantee. Reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to speak with you about the opportunity. Or if you just hate working with agencies, you just really, really, really hate agencies, and you want to manage your own campaigns, that's cool. However, you should at least find out if we got results in your niche market already, so we can sell you the ad templates that work for it that we used to get results in your niche market. We've worked in over 200 different niche markets in the last 10 plus years of starting guaranteed PPC. And if we've already got those results, you can copy paste what we developed for your market in terms of ad, landing pages, campaign templates into your own ad accounts and get the results we have. You manage it from there. And you've bypassed years of testing that we had to do to get to those results, of which we can tell you the results you're going to get with it up front before you bought the template from us. So it's all very straightforward whether there's value there and how much. Reach out to me if you're interested in that as well. We've got people using these templates to start whole other businesses, which is very popular now. I don't hear anybody else selling templates, which is why I bring it up all the time on this channel now. But they're literally using these templates to start a business from scratch when they had no clue about how to do the business. They wanted to get into e-commerce. They didn't know how. They took one of our templates. They got the items from China like we told them to do. They put that campaign to work and they were getting the results with it. Or they generated leads and they answered the phone and then they subcontracted the work out, which is something you can also do. Anyway, if you're interested in any of those other opportunities, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. If you have any questions, by the way, about this, anything I covered about how long does it take for Google Ads to optimize, or any other marketing related question, I can answer it using my 20 years of marketing experience with the businesses that I run today, have ran in the past, or working with clients. Just leave me a comment in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. I answer all questions. So don't be worried, oh, he won't reply, because I will. Beyond that, so really what it comes down to is, if you didn't get the picture already, the more competition you basically have, the less competitive you are in your individual market in terms of value for money, the more likely you're going to need somebody who actually knows what they're doing to set up the ads to actually get it to be profitable, or not have it take 2 years to be profitable to get to the other side of profitability with your ads. Okay? You may think what you're doing is not competitive, and you could go test the ads for yourself and see if Google can optimize your ads quickly enough before you run out of money and you go bankrupt. That's up to you. For the most part, though, just know whether you do it or don't do it by yourself up front. Even if you were to get 20% of the results you could with it, you should already be jumping up and down with joy, because we can take it and get it to be 5 times that just by understanding all the little techniques and tricks and all that. Plus have systems set up with all the tracking and testing we've ever done to understand how to roll these systems out that routinely get results, and then just bolt them onto your campaign and get the results with your campaign. And if you want to do all these little things yourself that will get you results every time, that we know get results every time, such as using a local phone number on your landing pages so that the local number is showing and getting an extra 15% conversion on the traffic you're driving to your landing page, which is one little trick. Or making sure the keyword that the user is typing in is in the headline each time, which gets about roughly 40% more conversion rate on the clicks you're getting. All those little things, I literally give it all away for free on this channel if you want to do it for yourself. Subscribe to this channel, pay attention to the content on this channel. It's coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing to tell you what works and what doesn't work, what we find at our firm works. I literally record videos on the weekend to tell about what works and doesn't work at our firm, during the week, which is my day job, if you will. And so therefore it's relevant information. Most of these other yahoos that are talking about PPC on YouTube don't really run any ads. They're literally just trying to sell you a course and pulling the wool over your eyes. They really don't know what the hell they're talking about. So if you're going to pay attention to anything, you might as well pay attention to this information here. I have a blog that I keep on my site as well with fantastic information as well. You can find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has actual documented step-by-step instructions to roll out the strategies and campaign types we know get proven results every time, and that we use to guarantee results for our clients. You should definitely check that out if you like the video content on this channel as well. But with that said, to give you an idea how profitable this can actually be, if you go ahead and pull out all the stops versus the average campaign, literally speaking, we had a wakeboarding slash surfing products company where we started out the campaign doing everything the correct way, given we had a product line, made in USA products, which, by the way, if you want to be able to carve out a nice little part of your market, come out with a made in the USA product. Why? Because that will sell like hotcakes. You literally, if you can go into the market that has no made in the USA product, you come out with it, you can almost exclusively always do well. That plus offer a warranty on top of it, whoo, you can make that work in almost any market, literally speaking, which we're starting to invest in companies, where we're doing equity share on any company that has a made in the USA product, because so few people have it and so many people want it. But with that said, the guy that we were working with or working for had around 4 competitors, but our product was clearly better in terms of the packaging, mainly just the packaging. We were able to get the campaign up to 500% ROAS within the first month of running that campaign. Packaging alone is so important nowadays. People do judge a book by its cover. The website was decent, as good as the competition, but just because the packaging was better, it looked more appealing, we were able to hit the ground running with it right away. That tells you just how easy running ads can be if you actually come up with the right product that actually obviously visibly looks better than the other competition. Beyond that, when we are talking about like lead generation campaigns, going into that here, we had a company that offers like a virtual reality training services company. I haven't really talked about on this channel before. With that, the client, cost per lead was over $100 per lead, and they were running their ads for over a year already, basically stuck in that position. Yes, the results are kind of slowly getting better, but we're talking over quarters, not months, and negligible. We went ahead and structured all the campaigns right, did killer landing pages for each type of training services, one for like fire extinguisher training, that kind of thing, which is a really cool business, by the way. You could easily get into that and do well. But with that said, within 90 days, we were able to get that well under $100 a lead and more importantly, ramp up the amount of leads that we were getting more than 3x what we started with, which is that's the main, I talk about it all the time, but just to rehash, the main reason why you are a maniac about what you're doing in terms of setting up the best funnel for your Google ads is because you can scale it. Do what you can to get to a reasonable enough cost per lead or ROI with your campaigns, and then you just work on scaling the hell out of it. People to say, oh, it's not worth it to spend all the, on that good PPC guy because I'm only spending $50 a day on my campaign. Well, now, but when you can look at it 5 years from now, instead of spending $50 a day, you're spending $500 a day. Now you're literally making $200,000 a year in profit, not revenue, profit. And whatever you paid up front, that $20,000, $30,000 to set it up the best possible way, that's literally 1 month's worth of profit. Like, you got to put it into perspective for yourself to really justify doing it the right way. If you think big picture, it's literally nothing. What the cost of doing it right is just a drop in the bucket. But anyway, so whereas he was going along this line here, we're getting it up to here within the 3-month time period. So pretty much just like this chart shows here. I can tell you, and it can seem biased, and you can believe what you want at the end of the day, and you should think for yourself, but it will pay for itself to do it the correct way if your market has actual revenue in it. And like I said, if you're not sure if the market's big enough or profitable enough, see if there's any life in it. But to not do everything right, so you just absolutely not beat your competitors, but absolutely decimate them in terms of click-through rate and conversion rate, it's going to pay for itself many times over every single time. This isn't like, at least for what I know about things, I'm never, ever, ever not going to do that. There's nothing in your business operational wise that's going to be so easy to increase your profitability that you could spend your time on. The easiest way to get an increase in profitability from your company is just to set up your ads to crush your competition right up front, to the point where you can 5x the amount of profit your business is making just by setting up the ads better. What are you going to do on the operation side of your business that's going to give you that kind of a return on your time? You would have to hire a full-time employee to make things more efficient, and you're still only going to be able to maybe double How are you gonna just, really, it's the easiest thing. Making your advertising more efficient is the easiest thing to make more money in your business, because it's mainly because, and it's easy for me to say, but it's all on this channel as well. It's all very formulaic. There's certain things that just typically make the user's experience better, that they like, that makes it easier to buy from you. You do it, you get the return, baby. And they're all on this channel for you to be able to use and utilize for your business. So with that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said Google Ads optimize was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.